Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Happiness from Within. My question that I have for you today is, what if your pain isn't just something to fix, but a message your body has been trying to send you for years? Let me ask you that again. What if your pain isn't just something to fix, but a message your body has been trying to send for years? So, my name is Jeanette. I'm the host and creator of Happiness from Within. Today, we're going to be talking about this topic of healing your body through illness. So, one of the things that I first want to talk about, my heart goes out to you for anything that you may be struggling with in regards to your chronic illness. I want you to know that healing is possible. I want you to know that healing is possible. Sometimes illness is not here to break us, it's here to wake us up. So I want to talk to you guys from the bottom of my heart about my story to really inspire you, and also for you to take this information with a condition that you're dealing with. The information I'm going to be sharing with you as far as the healing tips is coming from one of my mentors, Anthony Williams. He has written a number of different books. Some of this is also going to be coming from the Life Changing Foods. So I have to give credit to him for this information. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so back in 2002, I had fallen down some stairs, you guys. And after that, I pretty much really couldn't run like I used to. I ran track and cross country when I was in college. And just fast forward, I came to find out in 2008 that I had a cyst in the back of my knee. And the doctor said you can either leave it or just continue living your life. And they told me that I had this rare condition, which is known as PVNS. And it's a very rare condition. 1 in a million people get it. And basically, medical science says the only way to get rid of it is through surgery. And always deep in my heart, I felt like my body was always telling me that healing is possible through other methods, but I didn't know what that was, right? Google was like my second best friend. I can't tell you how many times a week I was looking up, well, what is inflammation? Where do cysts come from? Like, why do they grow? What is the root cause, right? And I started just trying so many different things. I remember that year, 2008, I found out about the rare condition, but excuse me, 2011 is when I found out about the cyst. So at least it started to make sense that there was something blocking movement for me to bend my knee, right? So start to think about what are some conditions that you're having? Like, what is your body trying to tell you, right? 1 in every 9 people have some sort of a liver issue in today's world. It's very unfortunate. The rise of chronic illness is only getting worse, okay? And so that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about Medical Medium, is because he is on the forefront of chronic illness, of helping people to heal. And I want to use this platform to help to bring you guys value and help you to heal from chronic illness also through his information. And so fast forward 2011, 14, 2011, 2014, 2018. And I got 3 different surgeries. 2015, I also got aspiration for them to actually suck out the liquid. So you could imagine, it's like, what was my body telling me, right? Like, what is going on here? I knew it had something to do with inflammation. And so I started cutting out meat, and I thought, okay, well, what can I do to reduce the inflammation? I knew that turmeric was very good for inflammation, but really, to be honest with you guys, that's all I knew. I was like, turmeric, okay, turmeric, right? And so anyway, the turmeric was helping, right? But it was like very, very temporary, right? I was still sometimes eating eggs. Let's talk about eggs and why that's considered what's called a troublemaker food per Medical Medium. So basically, what was going on in my body, you guys, my body was telling me that I had a viral overload, okay, filled with toxins, heavy metals, herbicides, insecticides. And it wasn't just toxins from the environment, right? There was something much deeper going on here, right? And one of the things I want you to know is that whatever sort of conditions you're having, I want you to know that it's not your fault. Okay? There are a small percentage of people on this planet that control the money and the food, right? And things that go into our food. And unfortunately, it's very corrupt. It is unfortunately very corrupt, but we can also be empowered because we have the tools to heal. I want to talk a little bit about the spiritual side actually of turmeric coming from life-changing foods. This is really amazing. So turmeric is an anti-inflammatory properties and are so potent that they're meant to give us a pause and consider what else in our lives could use calming. Inflammation doesn't just occur on a physical level. We can also become inflamed mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. This often takes the form of judgment, blame, rage, or perpetual dissatisfaction. Like physical inflammation, it can feel uncomfortable. It could be the reason for your initial distress in a long past, and you're stuck in habitual feedback loop that makes you relieve your pain over and over. The next time you feel a bout of extensional inflammation coming on, honor whatever past experience has brought on this reaction. Then take the cue from turmeric and gently try to end the cycle. That's really amazing, isn't it? Right? On some level, all of us have gone through some form of trauma, whether you are a man or a woman. 1 in every 4 people have gone through something traumatically, right? Whether that's emotionally, physically, or spiritually. And my heart just goes out to you, and I want you to know that you can heal your body. Now, if you're somebody that's not very sick and you're listening to this, that's completely fine. There's things that you can do, to prevent illness, right? Because if we don't make time for our health, eventually you're going to make time for your illness. Okay. You don't want to be, that elderly person later not being able to enjoy your life because you're dealing with illness. Time to enjoy your life is right now. Like the Chinese say that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And then the second best time is to plant a tree today. So my beautiful message for you today is wherever you are with your health, it doesn't matter what happened in the past because we can't focus on the past. All we can do is focus on today. The future is a mystery. We can plan for the future, but we can't have fear about the future because all we have is now. Okay. So with that being said, I just want to go back to my story to empower you, right? As I was healing through, these surgeries and also healing from trauma and all kinds of things that had happened in my past, I came to realize what my body was telling me, you guys, was to slow down. Most of my life, I have to say, I've been pretty busy, right? Even as a kid, I mean, I had friends, you guys, but it's not that I didn't go out and play and that sort of thing, but I was the type of person that liked to spend a lot of time alone. Um, and I see that now because, I'm an empath, and I need to isolate myself to recharge my energy, right? I definitely have gone to a lot. I go to like gatherings. I like to go to, business conferences to expand my skills to, build my business. I always love to be around other people. I am a social butterfly, but I also can be an introvert and I need to have that time, right? So wherever you are on that scale, I just want you to know to honor yourself, honor your vessel and know that you're beautifully where you need to be. Okay. And so going back to the story, what had happened was in 2020 or 2018, I came to realize after having that surgery that this was going to be the last surgery. I knew that something really deep was shifting. And then in 2020, guess what happened, you guys? I found medical medium. I found the information. Finally came to realize that what was going on was that there was a viral load in my body. Oh yeah, going back to the eggs. Excuse me, I sometimes go all over the place. So one of the things that if you are dealing with chronic illness, you have to realize that the root cause of most of these is viral, right? You could be dealing with HPV, you could be dealing with EBV, toxic heavy metals. And the thing is, what feeds these viruses, you guys, are is called troublemaker foods. If there's 3 that I would recommend for you to get completely off of if you're new, is dairy. Okay, so no dairy, no gluten, okay, and no eggs, okay. Those would be the biggest ones that I would say to get off of, because when you are eating these foods, you're feeding the viruses that are in your body. This is not to scare you. This is just the reality. These are the things that medical medium talks about, right? And it does take time to get off the troublemaker foods. It took me at least a good 3 years, right? I sometimes do slip up. I'm just telling you, I'm a human being. But the thing is at least I'm aware of what is going on, right? And so, excuse me, I was just trying to fix something. I want you to know that you can heal. You know, it's so funny. I was looking at this book. I think Spirit wants me to read something. One of my other amazing mentors is Daisaku Ikeda. He has this amazing book called You Can Do It. Let me see what page Spirit takes us to. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is one of the. Okay. Are you ready? We're gonna get some inspiration from Daisaku Ikeda. There you go. He says here, having problems and worries means that you're growing, because you're moving forward and you're bound to come up against obstacles now and then. And then he says, you are all in imperceptible age right now. So it is only natural that you have such worries. But if you try to be someone you're not, you'll only exhaust yourself. Please bear in mind that personality refers to a person's unique traits. It has nothing to do with people's intrinsic worth. I hope you will always remember that. Yeah, this is really amazing. I wanted to read this because so many times we lose faith in ourselves, right? And if it's one message that you get from here, from today's message, is that you can do it, you can heal. I know we hear that over and over, like, yes, you can do it. But no, I really want you to know, like, whatever condition you have, you can start taking steps to reverse your chronic illness. You truly, truly can. And I wanted to just read, if that's okay, one more passage. You guys got to get this book. You literally, you can look up many different foods and it'll give you conditions that you can heal. It'll give you the emotional meaning behind it and also the spiritual meaning. So Atlantic Dulce is one of the ingredients in one of the most amazing smoothies called the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie. And he says here, the spiritual lesson between Atlantic Dulce is this. Check it out. He says, so often in life, we absorb the worries, fears, and other stressful emotions of those around us left unchecked. These poisonous feelings can eat away at us and interfere with our well-being. Sea vegetables teach us the miraculous art of taking something that is energetically toxic and processing it in a way that disarms it and releases it back into the ether, so it can't harm anybody else. It's really interesting because that's actually what Atlantic Dulce does. It's one of the 5 ingredients in the heavy metal detox smoothie. Is it grabs onto a heavy metal and it literally will hang on to it and it will not let go of it and until it's released from the body. It's pretty amazing. If you go to Google, you can type in heavy metal detox smoothie to get the 5 ingredients. But yeah, please check out the heavy metal detox smoothie. It's extremely healing. I want to talk a little bit more about, this concept of like, what is your body telling you? Maybe your body is telling you to slow down. It was in 2000, what was it, 2017, you guys? I was working for a financial services company, great company, by the way. But the thing is like, it was crazy. I'd go to my job, right? And then from like 5 to 10 o'clock, I was going to trainings. I was going to do people's homes, to talk about the benefits of, saving money and getting life insurance. Literally, my body was telling me, you got to slow down. Like at this, between 2014 and 2018, like I was still able to walk, but it was difficult to keep my legs, the inflammation down. Like my leg would still get pretty inflamed and it was hard to sit down, right? I always have to be like getting up every 15 minutes, right? So I'd always have to be wearing a brace or just something. But my soul told me at such a deep level, you need to slow down. I literally had to drop everything, you guys. I told my coach at the time, I said, I'm not coming to any more meetings because I have to get this surgery. I was scared, but also determined with fire inside of me. And it was the best decision I ever made because from basically 2020 till now, you guys, I have to tell you, it's not that I don't go out, but I don't really go to too many business meetings because I've been focusing so much on cleansing my liver. It's been really, really hard. Don't get me wrong. I go to visit my family. The weekends, I really try to have for myself. I continue to do this podcast to encourage you guys. That doesn't stop. But if your body is telling you to pause, I just really, from my heart to yours, I encourage you to do that. Right? I'm not saying that you have to take a whole 5 years off and completely leave your job, right? I'm still working. I still have to support myself. Thank God I'm not like bedridden that I can't even work. I cannot begin to tell you guys there's so many people on this planet that are bedridden that can't even work. Yeah, they're literally, thank God I never got to that point. I was very, very close because I had brain fog in 2020 and I was laid off from my job at the time. And I needed some time to literally start the healing tools. And I can share these with you if you're somebody dealing with chronic fatigue, brain fog, whatever your condition is. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Um, is to start with 16 ounces of celery juice in the morning. Second thing you can do, you're going to wait 30 minutes, is water with lemon. Extremely, extremely healing for the body and starting your morning out right for cleansing the liver. Okay. And then the third thing you can do is the heavy metal detox smoothie. Now, if you find that the heavy metal detox smoothie is too much, one of the things you can do is have like a melon, right? You can have watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon. Melon is so extremely important in healing in the chronic illness journey because it's basically almost the same thickness as your blood. When the melon goes into your stomach, it only stays there for about a minute, minute and a half, and then it goes directly into the bloodstream. And the reason that's important is because it's going to start cleansing out your blood and also helping to get rid of toxic heavy metals, herbicides, pesticides, and it doesn't need time to break down to digest. Okay, that's why so many people are getting heart attacks is because of clogged arteries, right? Melon is going to really move the needle in your healing. A second fruit that you can have is papaya. Papaya is extremely, extremely healing. So you can have your water with lemon, wait 30 minutes, celery juice, and then you could have papaya in the morning. Also, if you like bananas, bananas with papaya is so extremely healing for the gut. If you're having any sort of gut issues, you guys, it's most likely because you're having a liver issue. Everything is completely connected. It's connected to the lymphatic system, gut issues, liver issues. If you're having any sort of skin issues, it all goes back to the liver. If you're dealing with acne, eczema, whatever it is. Like, do you see my face, how I'm a little like flush? It's red. It's been like that ever since I was a kid. I never knew it's because of the liver, right? I used to have really, really bad acne. Over the years, it's gotten better. I do break out a little bit, but because remember I was telling you over the years, I started eliminating certain foods, right? So, I still have a long ways to go in my healing, but the thing is it doesn't matter because I'm taking the steps to move forward and hopefully, reverse, do some anti-aging. So, but anyway, I just wanted to come on here to share this message with you guys from the heart. I would love to hear any sort of conditions that you guys are dealing with. If you don't have this book, you can get it for free at the library. But for anybody that comments below, um, if you have a question about a certain condition, or one of the foods, I'll see if it's in the book, right? It doesn't have every single food on the planet in this book. This has only life-changing foods, but if you have a question about a certain food, if you don't have the book, comment below and I will send you the spiritual meaning of, I will reply back to every single comment and give you the spiritual meaning behind it. How about that? So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. If any of this has resonated with you and you're somebody that is struggling with chronic illness, if you're a woman, I am a certified holistic health coach and would love to hop on a free call, see if that's something you're interested in. You can check out the link below if that's something that resonates. But wherever you are in the world, I wish you a wonderful, fabulous day. And don't forget to smile because you're worthy. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.